All right, we will call the May meeting of the Hartsville-Trousdale County Planning Commission to order. Amber, would you call the roll, please?
Yes, sir. John Kerr.
Here.
David Thomas. Amanda Carmen. A.B. Harper.
Here.
David Noner.
Here.
Kyle Welch.
Here.
Katie Dillon. Heather Bay.
Here.
Mitch Gregory. And we have Miss Amanda Harrington and Miss Rusley Mahan.
Okay, thank you. Next is our minutes. You do have a copy and have had time to look at it. It's been emailed to you. Please look over the minute and see if there's any additions or corrections that you see need to be made. If there's not any, I would accept a motion to approve. Yes, ma'am.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Shutter to approve. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Nollner. Any discussion? Did anybody see anything that needed to be updated or changed? Okay. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, please say no. Okay, our minutes are approved. Okay, so no old business, no new business. We're down to site plan. First item is a site plan review at 603 East Main Street of 0.411 acres for a quadruplex by Redline Construction LLC. Is anybody here from Redline Construction to talk to the site about the site plan? No one? Then we'll put that off. I'm assuming that's the one out on by the county garage.
Yes, sir.
Where Risey's store used to be. Okay. If they were to come in, we can go back to it, but I don't know who to be looking for. Next is a final plat review. This is on Halltown Road of 1.75 acres for a minor subdivision of 3 lots by Ketco LLC. Jim?
Okay, so I think you've got copies in your packet there. If you don't, I'll be glad to give you a big one. So just to start off with, so we don't have any confusion, which we had a little earlier with the planning commission, with the staff people and everything. Ketco LLC is Zach Taylor, one and the same. So
Is who?
Zach Taylor.
Zach, okay.
Okay, so Zach owns about 8.5 acres out there in 4 or 5 parcels, all put together that y'all, not all put together, but all zoned together that y'all rezoned back 2 years ago, something like that. Rezoned the whole block. So he's just looking at cutting off 3 lots on the existing frontage on Halltown right there. It's got sewer, water, fire protection, everything right there where the old house sits. Or used to sit. I don't know. They may have already tore it down. But anyway, I'll try to answer any questions you might have.
Yes, sir.
Just for clarification purposes, Jim, are these 3 lots part of the land that the county annexed? That whole big property?
I do not know. I would have figured these 3 were already in. Do we have to annex the whole thing? Do you remember?
So no, this is its own parcel. And it's already on Halltown Road and it was already in the city limits. It was not.
I believe this section, this particular section, now we rezoned it at that time, but I believe this particular section was not part of the annexation. I believe all that was over on Dalton Hollow there behind this.
So this was like an existing lot already inside the city limits. David, you have something else?
So the reason I asked is because when we originally did annex that property, we were looking at all this as one big chunk of property. And so that's how it got its sewer was off of these properties, the sewer access. So I'm wondering now if these are cut off, is that other property still going to have sewer access?
Yes, sir. If you look at your sheet right there, the plat, that 50-foot strip going in right there in between those lots is serving all of that back through there, along with, I think the actual sewer is going to wind up, whenever they do what's over on Dalton, it's going to wind up going through Matthew Carmen's property down there and in behind Daly's right there at the tie-in. They've already done the engineering and stuff on that. But that's, but they'll, if they need to access sewer in this spot, they've still got that 50-foot strip looking for potential street going in or entrance to an apartment complex, whatever it is. That's what that 50-foot strip is staying in there for between lots 1 and 2, I think there.
2 and 3.
2 and 3, maybe. I don't have my plat open, sorry.
I know, that's,
It
Make-
looked like there was a roughed in driveway on that empty lot there going to 3, and that was the confusing part also for me.
it looks like that's not part of 3. It's just part of that. That empty
So-
lot.
What you're seeing there, the dotted line is already the existing.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So
I
this
just
is
opened up my
already
plat. Yeah.
existing.
There's an existing house on 3 and an existing driveway and carport out there. All that's gonna be removed and taken out. And so lot 3 will be a vacant lot and lot 1 and 2 will exist. And then that area where that existing driveway is will be left for future access to the rear land.
Mr. Gregory?
I need to recuse myself from this one.
Okay. Amber, please note that. Mitch is recusing himself from this discussion. Does he actually have to leave his seat?
Best practice.
Okay. I don't know if I'd practice that good. I'm too lazy. Okay, other questions? Okay, Ms. Rosalie?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So as we're looking at this final subdivision plat, I know there was a lot of questions there. Yes, the house that is to be removed on lot number 3 and the carport as well. Lot number 3, this all is one parcel. The house to be removed will have to file for a special permit with the state because of possible asbestos. This is an older home, and any houses that are old that are going to be demoed does have to file a permit with TDEC in order to make sure that the remediation of any asbestos is done appropriately. The questions concerning access to sewer, if you noticed towards the bottom of this plat, the Anthony Whitaker, who owns the lot next to these 3 proposed lots. On the other side of that is the other parcels of land that Zach Taylor owns that does adjoin that large parcel of land that follows along Dalton Hollow. And that is also where initially when they were talking about annexing that along Dalton Hollow was where the sewer was going to be coming from. So looking at also the, down here on parcel number 3, there is an existing fire hydrant. It does have fire suppression. Again, the 500 gallons per minute, 20 PSI. You've got notated here the 8-inch water line, the 8-inch sewer line. Everything is looking good for these 3 lots to be able to handle the infrastructure that we do have there. They have spoken, again, there, you can tell you've got this house here, so it already has a water tap there. As far as what I can tell from this plat, and thank you so much, Jim, for all the notes and everything, which really help explain what's happening here. And you did use the new combined ordinance notations on what the zoning is. I know. I understand. It's a journey, isn't it? And also letting us know that Kitco is one and the same with Zach Taylor. This looks good to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosalie. Any questions for Ms. Rosalie? Ms. Amanda?
So this plat was reviewed in accordance with the Hartsville-Trousdale 2021 subdivision regulations and applicable provisions of the Hartsville zoning ordinance. No corrective comments were yielded from that review, and Recommendation is approval of the final plat, finding that it meets the minimum standards of the subdivision regulations and zoning resolution.
Any questions for Miss Amanda? No questions? Discussion? Everybody good? Motions? Yes, ma'am.
I make a motion to approve.
Have a motion by Shutter to approve. I'm sorry, I didn't. Second by Katie. Any discussion? Questions? Anything? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, please say no. Does pass unanimously.
So I was told that Mr. Barnes is on his way up here to present his.
He the other dude.
He's
Right
the
here.
red
Okay.
part of the supplements.
All right, so the gentleman with red line is on his way. So we'll give him a minute, get up here. Anybody have anything the planning commission might need to discuss while we're waiting, or Rosalie, if you have a report, you might could go ahead and do that now while we're got a few minutes.
Yes, sir. Thank you. First, I'd like to thank Amber Reyes and Amanda Harrington for holding down the fort while I was at the Tennessee Building Official Association last month. A lot of great information about significant changes to building codes in 2024 code cycle. A lot of good information about fire codes and fire inspections and what really should kind of happen with commercial buildings and regentrification of downtown areas. It was an excellent conference. It was a very interesting month for April. I know I kind of spoke about this at the BZA meeting. April, we had an audit from the State Fire Marshal's Office, which happens every 3 years. So not only did we fill out a large packet of information, but we had an on-site visit from the director of the residential building inspectors who did on-site inspections with me. And we do have a very good program here in Trousdale County. We do follow the processes and enforce codes as the state fire marshal would enforce the code. And we also had a nice visit from TOSHA, which is the Tennessee Division of OSHA, and they inspected 2 different departments here in the county, making sure that we are following all the safety protocols and all the necessary information for safety is displayed and understood, and always an opportunity for us to be safer. So it was a very good month and glad to be here in May.
Okay, so if we'll go back to our agenda, we have a site plan review. This is at 603 East Main Street of 0.411 acres for a quadruplex by Red Line Construction. Mr. Barnes, are you here? If you'd come to the podium there, please. Turn it on there if you don't mind the mic. There you go.
I'm fresh out of a T-ball game, so not prepared at all, so be gentle.
Just
No,
kinda
if y'all have
tell us
any
that-
questions, let me know.
Well, just kind of tell us what you're wanting to do in general, and then we'll see if we've got questions or anything.
Yeah, it's just a quadruplex, surrounded by other quadruplexes across the street and back behind, or on the other side of the road. But I think we had some adjustments we had to make and send it back to the engineer, and he made those adjustments, I believe, so.
Okay. We'll find that out in a minute. Anybody have any questions for Mr. Barnes? Okay, Ms. Rosalie?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So if you can look with me on the title page here, you see that they do have the existing conditions, a demolition plan. Albeit that Mr. Barnes had already pulled a demo permit and the building that was there is now not there any longer. And I do have that documented via photo if anybody is interested. The site layout is there, the grading plan, utility plan, paving, drainage details. And then I made sure that they would be able to address the erosion control and stormwater runoff that is on a grade. There is higher ground behind that, and making sure that we are doing what we said we would do as a planning commission is to control stormwater runoff, and looking at everything that is notated here. They have done very well with that.
Okay. Any questions, Ms. Rosalie? No? Ms. Amanda?
Thank you. The site plan has been evaluated using the Hartsville-Trousdale zoning ordinance, March 2026. And staff finds that it meets the minimum requirements and recommends approval.
Any questions for Ms. Amanda? Discussion? Questions? Hearing nothing? Motions?
I make a motion to approve.
All right. Have a motion to approve,
Second.
second by Mitch. Discussion? Okay. I didn't say, Cal made the motion, Mitch seconded. Okay. No discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, please say no. Does pass.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Okay. So, Rosalie's got to kind of tell what she's had going on. Amanda, do you have anything to report to the commission?
I do not.
Okay. Does any member have anything to bring? Yes, sir.
So I think we really, as a planning commission, need to start paying a little more attention to East Main. We've approved a lot of these quadplexes and they fit code, and we have every right to do it. But from a planning standpoint, we're getting a lot of density down that road. We now have several of these quadruplex down through there that we've approved in the last couple of years. And it's getting a little more
They
congested.
didn't build.
Yeah. Yeah, and then what they're doing is they're doing just similar to what this gentleman's doing. They're building them long ways into there, so you're getting your 4, and so you're getting 8 cars per lot dumping off into that traffic. I really appreciate what Rosalie's been doing with the stormwater runoff. That has been, you can see it in the plans that are coming through, and in the future that should really help mediate some of the issues. The road department's going to have to fix some culverts across that, underneath that road, to kind of help with some water runoff. But I think as a district right through there, from say Western up to where it merges back into McMurray, we need to be real cognizant at coming forward of too many more of these quadplexes coming through.
So since the density is getting up, are you proposing some sort of solution?
I don't know what we can do in this body for that. I don't know if that's something that has.
Well,
to
I
come
really meant through your committee.
Well, and that is something that we're going to have to start taking a look at, is because we don't really have a growth plan currently that's up to date with the growth we've had to help manage where we want to limit some of this growth and kind of push some of these developments into other areas. We've got quite a bit of R3 that's been rezoned and just kind of sitting, and can become a lot more dense very quickly.
Yeah, I can see that out East Main. I mean, that's kind of been an R3 area for many, many years. Yeah.
And I will say they've done a great job kind of hiding it, because when you drive down through there, you don't, I mean, it's not like going through Gallatin and you got
Right.
apartments 3 stories, and they've done a really good job of kind of tucking them in, and all you see is either the road, the drive going to it, or you might see a couple of cars parked out front, not realizing there's actually 4 units on that lot. So I appreciate the design and the layout that the contractors have been doing for us. My concern, like I said, is now that we've done so many of them, now we have a density issue that we're starting to butt up against, and that needs to be considered.
Okay. Maybe your committee can look at that and maybe find a solution, or I don't know if there's a solution, but help it some, let's say.
I would be gladly take any advice from this body to that body. But like I said, I don't really know a solution other than putting a halt on, R3 development in that area. What's been rezoned is rezoned, and we just don't do any more R3s. Besides that, I don't really have any other suggestions, so I would love to hear any input from this body.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Have we received any complaints down through there, Rosalie, or traffic? I know I come down through there quite often. I've not had any issues. I was just curious.
I have not received any complaints about traffic.
I go by there every morning on my way to the track. The only traffic is if you don't leave early enough, get behind that school bus. That's your traffic, but, I mean, that's just part of, but I haven't noticed a tremendous amount. But again, I'm not a good source. I'm not down there that much. Yes, sir.
My wife's been complaining about trying, because to get to cut in on that road,
What road?
not Big Murray, but
East Main?
East Main.
She's talking about at the triangle?
Yeah,
Well, that's a different situation.
yeah, but there's a lot of traffic coming out and going in. It's hard to get,
Certain times of day.
in the morning, she's taking the grandkids to school, so that's when it's hard to make that.
Okay. You think? Yes, ma'am.
So my office did get a call from a gentleman he is in Knoxville, and it's with UT Knoxville, dealing with state data. I had an open records request for all permits from 2019 all the way up until now on single-family residences, quadplexes, triplexes, all the above. And the reason being is that there's only 3 counties or 3 jurisdictions in the state of Tennessee that are metropolitan. We are one of them. They have passed a law and how they're going to be calculating on how metropolitan areas are going to be receiving sales tax, shares, gas tax, things of that nature, and it's going to be based on the number of people. He said they could use the 2020 census. Now, you guys know as well as I do, our 2020 census is not an accurate depiction of what Trousdale County is right now, Hartsville, Trousdale County. So Amber and I are going to be going back and gathering all this data and sending it to them to see how we can have a larger slice of the pie, shall we say, of the sales tax and the gas tax and things of that nature. So this is one of many things that are changing with the state. I know Amanda and I have been talking about, and there's going to be a training that Amber is going to be attending for me about how we also show the fees that we collect in the planning office, the building office, on anything over, is it $250? You have to show what that money is actually going for. And that's monies for building permits, plan reviews. Right now, we're not charging for plan reviews, but we should in the future charge for plan reviews. If you come into the makeshift office that we have at the moment, if you look at the plans that had to be reviewed for the TCAT building, the plans were this thick. It encompasses a lot. The plans for the field house that I had to review were at least an inch thick, and that takes time. And That's only one of the things that
don't we
we get to
charge?
do. It was never charged.
Just-
No one ever put together a fee for that. We should be doing that. That is another way.
Would that come through David's committee as a proposal?
Yes, sir, it will, and the county commission will need to vote on it.
Right, I knew that. That's why I was wondering if that's the proper place to start.
Absolutely. So in any subdivision reviews and things of that nature, so I have some information that I'll be sharing with codes and zoning on what other jurisdictions are charging. But we also need to come up with, and Amanda's going to be helping us figure out, okay, what are we doing? What do we need to have? Because again, some things are changing within the state, and it's a good thing because it does promote more transparency on what needs to happen and what's going to be needed to be shown.
It's interesting. Yeah, if we can increase revenue flow, that's always good. Anybody else got anything? Motion to adjourn? Motion to adjourn by Katie. Second. We are adjourned. Thank y'all.